So it's 2018, and I'm a new-ish mom of a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old boy. So naturally, I am a mess. I am barely holding it together. Here's a picture of me at that time. This actually, comparatively, is a good one. Yeah, here's another. I don't really know what's going on there. Yeah, they're pretty much all like this. Yeah. This one's with a Teletubby. So at this point, I've recently gotten my dream job running a theater in Manhattan. But once I get the job that I've worked so many years as a theater director to get, I realized that I really should be 5 years younger, without kids, and able to stay out 7 nights a week schmoozing with artists. And on top of that, I'm renovating my bathroom. So this picture is not really necessary, but it gives an effect. It's my son at Home Depot. Everything's chaos, really. And one night, I'm holding my 2-year-old and rocking him to sleep, and in the other hand, I'm scrolling, and I see this article. Now, at this point, I don't know a lot about immigration. I don't know what's happening at the southern border, but I feel this jolt of rage and shock right in my gut. Because what I do know is that separating a parent from their child simply because they walked from here to there is wrong. It's just wrong. Now, I think a lot of us experience similar jolts, right? But how do we translate a feeling into concrete action, especially when things are seemingly so out of our control? So that night, I make a donation, and it feels like a drop in the bucket. A couple of days later, a playwright gets in touch with me. She's heard about a mom separated from her 3 kids. Some other moms in New York got together and they crowdfunded to pay her bond out of immigration detention. Now she just has to get from Arizona to New York. Can I help? And something shifted. I felt this flash, and I'm like, I'm gonna do this. I have a chance to help one person. It changed my life. In 24 hours, I organized a 9-person cross-country driving relay across 10 states, and we lovingly escorted her back to her kids. She said it renewed her faith in others after the cruelty she had experienced at the border. And from this experience and many that followed, I eventually co-founded an organization called Each Step Home. Since 2018, we've helped to reunite over 1,000 kids with their families. Today, I'm going to talk about how we can make progress in seemingly impossible situations, even when we don't know what we're doing or how we're going to pay for it. And I know a lot about this because I run a theater. The Tank gives free space to around 3,500 performing artists in New York City every year, many of them young, most of them just starting out. And they don't have a lot of money or resources to draw from. They're working multiple jobs, running around the city, begging, borrowing, we hope not stealing, but working hard to accomplish their dreams, which is to make a show. And at the Tank, we make that a little bit easier for them. We give them the space, the equipment, support, and they accomplish great things over and over and over. And they don't have a lot of money, but what they do have is a commerce of care. It starts by asking, what do I need? And what does my community need? And where do those intersect? And they make incredible things because they are bound by their mutual need to create. In New York City, which is a very competitive place, where those opportunities are few and far between. It's a really simple concept, but I think it's easy to forget, particularly when we're trying to help. We feel inadequate. Because we are. Alone, right? But in the theater, we learn you can't do anything alone, right? Even when you do a solo performance, you need someone to do the lights. You need someone, right? To pick out the costumes, right? You need someone to take the tickets at the front. You need people to come and sit and watch. Everything we do in the theater, it relies on a network of people working together. I have seen people accomplish great things. When we make theater, my idea and your idea, they're so bound together that they're indistinguishable. So each step home started because we were bonding parents out of detention and reuniting them with their kids. And there was a little girl named Sophie, 4 years old, separated from her grandmother at the border. And her mom was already in the United States. And she, like thousands of other parents every year, had to apply for custody of her own kid. So she has a sponsorship packet. It's about this thick. She goes down to the copy place to print it. They say that'll be $50. Well, for Sophie's mom, an asylum seeker who's newly arrived, paying for attorney's fees, her day-to-day expenses, $50, that's impossible, right? But for us, right, we can put together $50. But where's the mutual need? Well, for me, it goes back to that jolt. My feeling, my need to help, because my country is putting Sophie's mom through all this. And she needs $50. I have seen people accomplish great things when they can just identify what is my need and what is the need of my community. And we don't think about our emotional needs as tangible, but we have a need. Part of our connection as human beings to help, to serve, to care. So I'm going to share 8 things. I'll call them guideposts or ideas or small steps that you can take to figure out how to get into your own commerce of care. They're just things that I've kind of picked up along the way. And maybe you're thinking, you know what, Megan, my community already works this way. I already have my commerce of care, so maybe they'll be helpful in thinking about what are needs that are happening within that community that haven't been addressed yet. Or maybe you're thinking, isn't this just like mutual aid? And it is. Mutual aid is a part of this, but I'm talking about creative solutions, big ideas, if we can find this alignment. So I just need your help, okay? I'm gonna have these 7 things on the screen, and all I need you to do is, if you are able, scream them at the top of your lungs when they come up. And I'm gonna kind of conduct you as we go, all right? You ready? Yep. The first one, you ready? Okay, here we go. Ask a question. Start by asking, what do I need? And what does my community need? And where do they intersect? I recently started a project called Revenue NYC. It's to help theaters across the city in the wake of a pandemic. We take the Tanks model and we use it at other theaters when they're between shows. We fill the space with artists and we do a profit share with the theaters to give them what they need, money, and give the artists what they need, free space. All right, ready for the next one? Okay. Start small, Tiger. I just put Tiger in there because I thought it was fun. Start small, one idea, right? Focus your energy on that. One show, kids, as we say in the theater. If you get too diffuse, you can get spread out. So pick one thing. Here we go. Flap your jaw. If it is safe to do so, talk to as many people as possible about your idea. You'll be amazed at who shows up, who comes out of the woodwork, and who knows who. And some of those people that you talk to are going to be a complete and utter waste of your time. And that is totally fine, because eventually you're going to figure out who's in it with you for the long haul.
No red carpets.
There is no perfect solution or perfect way to get into making progress. There's no giant foundation that's going to come down from on high and tell you exactly what to do. You cannot let perfection stand in the way of progress. There's no red carpet coming for you. Just get in there and start. Find an expert. There are so many people with expertise about whatever you're trying to do, and they're out there. When we started working in the immigration space, we had access to the heads of NGOs, of legal organizations, people working so hard on the front lines of this issue, people whose names you'll never know. And they're the people that would help us the most. So just be brave enough to reach out. Make 3 phone calls. Okay, so this implies that you have a phone and that you don't mind talking on it. But I have found whenever I hit a roadblock that usually if I just make 3 phone calls, I can figure out how to get around it. So if you've only made 2, you're not done yet. And lastly, check your baggage. So use whatever privilege you have in the service of others, but please keep your baggage in check, okay? You can be proud of yourself and the work you're doing without thinking you're gonna save somebody. And don't tell somebody what they need. Ask them. So lastly, 2 moms, and she helped me a lot, more than she'll ever know. Thank you.